Ed Parcaut, host of Real Estate Jerky and the radio show and the lives that we do on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And today I have who was on the radio last weekend, Buddy Wesson. He runs a junior SEAL program. I want him to talk all about it. I did not know anything about it until Rotary a week ago, and I want everybody to know about it. So, Buddy, thank you so much for coming on today.
Ed, thank you very much once again for having me on. This is a fabulous opportunity to talk about the program.
So one of the questions I didn't ask when you were on the radio, and I told you I was going to ask you, is how come you did this program? I mean, it takes a lot, first of all, and not everybody says, I'm going to run a program and do this, but why did you come up with this idea for it, or how come you were so into it? There's so many questions. Let's just start with, how did this get started?
Well, about 12, 13 years ago, I received a call and an invitation to come down to the base, the SEAL base on Coronado Island, and to bring a team of high school students to compete in a what we called a Navy SEAL challenge, and that's what they titled it. So we put together a group. In fact, I had to split a team together with my ex-teammate and put a group together. And so our kids that first year, we had 6 from up here, and I used 6 from his team. We mixed the kids together, and we had them stay. They had to learn how to communicate with one another and to act as a team they'd never had met. And I was just doing the physical portion of it because I had no idea it was one of their first programs that the Navy SEALs had put on as an introduction, I think, to the SEALs, and to let these young high school students know just a tiny smidgen of what the Navy SEALs have to go through BUDS and Hell Week. And I took this opportunity. I said, I'll do it. So the weekend came along. We went to the competition. The SEALs couldn't have been more courteous. They were great hosts. The kids lit up fantastically. All of them, not just only mine, but we had 10 other teams that were there that year. And they all were very excited about this. And I said, this is good. This locks in a child and puts a goal out in front of them. Not to, at that time, not just to be a SEAL, but there aren't that many young people out there. If you said, how would you like to associate with the SEALs, get so excited and they want to do this. Well, how are you going to be able to do this? Well, the first year we just said, okay, we're going to go through all these workouts. You've got to be able to do push-ups, pull-ups, sit-ups. You got to be able to run. You got to swim. You've got to be able to. We had no idea what else they were going to do. But when we got done, they got to go through their O course, the obstacle course.
And what makes up the obstacle course, if you don't mind, so people understand?
Oh my gosh, they have they start with parallel bars.
Okay.
They move to a 6-foot high fence. They move to a 12, or excuse me, about a 10 to 11-foot high fence. Then they run over to an area that was the barbed wire, large logs that they had to crawl under and move the sand to get through the other side, up the cargo net that was up 50 feet in the air, down, do the parallel ropes, climb up, grab the ring in the middle, swing to the other rope, come on down. Oh, not to forget the pile of logs every so often that they had to run with their hands behind their head, climb the logs, go back down. They were probably 5 to 6 steps going up and back down again. Then they had the over and under poles, the bridge, the rope bridge, the cross. Then we had the slide for life. And you probably have heard the slide of life from Admiral William McRaven and how that changed the entire course on way one of the individuals took it.
I don't think everybody's heard that.
Oh, well, it's a fabulous story. It's a fabulous speech he gave in 2014. He gave the commencement speech to the University of Texas. And it is, start the day out basically by making your bed. You've accomplished one good thing. So if the rest of the day goes poorly, you come back to a bed that's you made, well made, and you've accomplished that one thing that morning, and allows you to accomplish another thing and then another. And he's got a great way of ramping up the day for success. And this is one of the things that it was prior to Admiral McRaven having that speech for the first 4 years, but we kind of ran on the same thing. I guess I have to say, my mom put a lot of these same kind of goals in my life. Hey, make your bed, clean your room, get ready for school. Come home, put your clothes where you're supposed to put them, keep it neat, the whole works. All this came along with etiquette that we push. An adult would step in the room, you stand up, you shake hands, you look them in the eyes. It's kind of a thing that we kind of evolved into. But going back to the first
So we were at the obstacle course, right?
Yep. And so the slide of life, and then you get off the slide of life and you climb up. You grab a rope and you swing up to the balance beam, and you got to go down the balance beam. Then you get to the monkey bars, and you go across the monkey bars. Then you got to race over to the angle slide where it's approximately 4.5, 5 feet up, depending how much sand is below you, and jump up and slide down. Then you head over to the rock, what we call, or I call a rock wall. You've got to grab the rocks as you go along this vertical wall without touching the ground and get down from that. Then you've got to go over the hurdles. And as you go over the hurdles, that's basically the end of it. So that kind of covers the obstacle course. And it was
so you kind of have to, I know we were talking about other things before we got there, but you have to kind of be in shape to do this.
Oh, by all means.
Yeah. I mean you can't just, is it a mile long? How long is it?
It's less, it's probably less than a quarter of a mile.
Just a lot of stuff on there.
A lot of things. There's probably a good 15 to 20 items that require your body to use different muscles, jumping, sliding, crisscrossing, over and unders, climbing ropes. They also have another one we started off, I forgot, they have a 50-foot high rope climb, which they didn't have the kids climb all that way up. They taped it off. But so many young kids now, they don't have that in high school. They don't have it anywhere. They took the bars down. They took all that physical agility challenging equipment away. I had to take our kids to so many different places to find them. And on top of going through the O course, you then had to carry the log. You had to learn how to pick the log up properly, how to pick it not only from the ground, but to your knees and then up to your shoulders. You had to learn how to lift it up over to your opposite shoulder, and you had to learn how to put it in front of you. And as you are pressing this anywhere from 275 pound to 300 pound log with 8 men, and it could be as low as 6 men, depending on the activities as the years went on. And then you had to go around 3 or 4 times around this entire field, which was a challenge in itself, and which really brought in the teamwork, because you had a team leader, and he had to call it, because in 10 teams, you're not just having the instructor give the commands. You're having the team leader that we develop in this program from the beginning. Each and every child takes the position of team leader. And at the end, they determine which one's going to be the team leader during the competition. That kids do.
Right. All right. So that's the challenge, right? That they have to do. Now, I didn't know. So it's done all over California, all over the United States.
No, in fact,
training for it.
No.
Oh, really?
In fact, they were only pulling those that were in the San Diego area from schools, and those that were, and myself.
Okay.
400 miles away. So, but that was the first year. Then there's the SEAL base on the Pacific and the SWIC team base, amphibious base, right across the street from the Silver Strand, where the boats are, and the SWIC team takes everybody in. So we went there and watched the leapfrogs, the Navy SEAL paratroopers perform for us. And on the way back, the captain and admiral asked me to have a ride back to the other side of the base while my kids had to, I think, take the bus that time. But they said, you have a few minutes. And I won't go into why. But we were sitting in the car, and the captain says, what do you think about this? And I said, I really like this program. The kids really bought into it. They worked hard. They set their goals. They were there on time. It was absolutely kind of amazing. They said, would you do this again? I said, oh, in a heartbeat, I would. But I said, I wouldn't do it for an enlistment program. I will do it for the betterment of the child. From that moment on, through every year, that was our mainstay. We wanted to develop leaders. We wanted to expose them to many different options in the world, open doors for them, allow them to choose what opening they wanted to go through. Yes, we have certain prerequisites. They've got to have good grades, minimum 2.5, and that's above the 2.0 that the schools. We require they be in good standing in their schools. We require now that they do community service, which is a real big push over. It's particularly where we're in such demand. I could have hundreds of young men and women and
doing yeah.
I mean, but so we pushed a lot of this, and a lot of the feedback I get from all these community groups is, we want your junior Navy SEALs there. And the reason we want them, they know how to meet and greet. They shake hands. They look you in the eyes. They give you a firm shake. And they are already asking, what would you like us to do? And on top of it, once they catch on, they're not asking. They're using situation awareness. They're looking, because we base our program on 6 elements, and in this order. And everyone, and I do mean everyone, uses these: communications, teamwork, situation awareness, goal setting, stress control, and etiquette. I've had people say, well, what does etiquette have to do with the SEALs? I said, we will teach these kids how to ramp things down before they get out of hand. You don't think the SEALs do that, or their officers? Everyone needs to have that in their playing field. And I said, whether or not you're working with your spouse, working with a classmate or a team of classmates, or on your team, I said, you will always use these 6 elements. I tell the coaches, I said, let me have your player. I said, I won't take them from your practices. I said, but I do need them on Saturdays, because they're physically fit, but they need to know how to mesh with the rest of the team. I will send back an individual who is far superior in team communications and team workout together. They have a situation awareness that beyond what you'll have. And some of the coaches allow this to happen. But I'm thrilled. Now, we didn't start this. We evolved over the years into this, where we really have I guess we're enjoying the demand on our program that these high school students are requested to be out in the community to help.
All right. So I let you go for as long as you have, and because you have a lot to talk about, but I have a couple questions, and then I want people to understand locally. So this has been going on 13 years locally, correct?
That is correct.
And Modesto, Stanislaus County. So you pull from all over Stanislaus County?
I do. In fact, one thing I'd like to mention, all the teams other than our teams, because I'm allowed to bring 2 teams down to the base.
And that's 10 people?
Yeah, they want they're 8-man crews,
person,
boat
or
crews,
8-man?
8 person, because yes, we have women now. I want to tell you, I brought the first woman down there, unofficial, in uniform. She taught our young men, even though she was high school, what to do, how to stand, really did an excellent job lead by example. She did. She's now in the Navy. The Navy, in fact, she works with the SEALs. They love her.
Wow.
But she wasn't allowed when I brought her in and she was in the uniform. The admiral and the captain kind of took a look, and I said, "It's coming." About 2 years later, sure enough, it did. Um, we had our next female who made the team. She just graduated from Annapolis last May.
Wow.
We have 7 young high school students who have made the academies, and we have 2 more that will be going in. So we're pretty excited about that. But one of the almost fantastic things is all these teams draw from the same team, same club, the soccer team, the football team, the rugby team. And here comes Stanislaus County, some with San Joaquin County kids. I put these 8-man teams together, but I don't just take the 2 extras. I take 45 kids down with me.
Wow.
Because it is such an exceptional program. These kids change their lives to make these teams. So if they were in a gray area, the only way they can be with our team is to step back into the light and stay that way. They're caught with certain things. Any alcohol, drugs at all, I hear they're off the team permanently. Grades, they have to step down until they show me that they raised their grades. But the one thing I wanted to bring as I drifted off again is that we have kids from 9 different high schools to make a team. These kids come together. They have to learn to communicate and work as a team, which is amazing. And the base has asked me time and again, how do you get kids and you shuffle them together? I said, this is life. This is what I train. This is what I've been trained to do. Bring people together and have them learn how to communicate and work together. No matter what, if I ended up with 1 high school here or 5 high schools, I would take all of them and shuffle them without them knowing that was going to happen. And they'd have to learn how to communicate, how to be a team, how to use situation awareness together. So that is my belief, and it will always be that. Well, this is what I'll do. Some say, well, that'll take away from the cohesiveness of the team. Not necessarily.
No, it'll change it a little bit.
But it'll bring them together.
All right. So if somebody wants to be part of this, how long is the training per year for? Is it all year round?
No, it begins approximately in early December as introduction, might end of November, and we go until May, which was usually the peak, the performance where we went down to the base. And we would meet, depending on the coaches, depending on, and the teams. Some of these team people worked out with the coaches every 4 days a week plus Saturday. Saturday is about a 2.5-hour workout, brings all of them together and they get to meet one another. As far as we're realistic. If they're on a team, they may not have the strength to make the workout that night. But some of our groups have been working out 4 days a week plus Saturday.
Wow.
And that goes for about 5-6 months maximum. But each year, they all have to retry for the team again. No one gets a free ride.
So if you're on last year, you're not guaranteed you're on this year.
That is correct.
You still have to work hard at it. I'm just putting your email and stuff in here, so that's what I'm typing. So I can add it later so people know how to get a hold of you.
You're multifunctional. That's wonderful.
Well, I'm looking down and people are going to go, why are you being rude? It's like I usually look over here to see if there's any comments that we missed, because sometimes people don't click on to allow StreamYard to give that permission. So if you need water, there's 2 water bottles over there.
Sir. Oh my gosh, thank you very much.
All right, so that's how. So when is the actual competition?
The competition may vary. It depends on the base, but it's usually right around May.
Okay, so it is May. I just want to make sure I heard that right. But with COVID the last couple of years, that hasn't happened.
That is correct. Even the SEALs have locked themselves up for good reasons.
I could see that.
So we're waiting for that to reopen. Our initial performance here, invitation for the Stanislaus County, usually begins with the SEALs coming up and having a challenge. expanded plan as taking on more of the schools in Stanislaus County. We have the only program in the United States here. The other ones have just invited down at the base. We have a actual program.
Gotcha.
I want them to know that we've worked hard at this. The coaches that have been with me, we've all put this thing together. It is a love of life and giving back, and boy, has it been a gift to give back.
All right. So if you want to get involved, all right. So when is is there going to be competition this year?
This year, I don't think there's going to be. We're just going to start with the teams and
right, so it'll
start
be
putting together.
2023 potentially be the
Yes.
next one.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So that people would know. I mean, but I just want to reiterate, this program isn't funneling them into the military. That can happen, but that's not what this program is about. This program is to help people grow as a person, to do those six things,
Six elements.
Elements. I was thinking 5 for some reason, but 6 elements. And that's what I want people to understand. This is not a funnel to get you in the military. This is just to get you to be able to be your best for whatever you want to do in life.
That is correct. It absolutely. If they go to our website, www.jrseals.org, and they will.
You mean that one?
Yeah. Yep. Yes. Perfect. That's perfect. That's what
the
it
one.
is.
That's what I was typing. I told you.
Okay, that's it. And they'll look at our mission statement. We want to empower these students. We want to develop them into leaders. That's what we lack in a lot of this. But to get back to your area, we were talking about the competition, what's happening. We'll put things together. We want these individuals to know that we're here. They need to start clubs at their high school once they make the teams. Typically, in the past, we would have a one-day challenge at one high school. You can imagine that one high school, and you've got, 27 different high schools in the area? Well, we only have 400 or 500 kids turn up because they're basically within walking distance. They don't all have the ability to get there. From there, we go through the challenge day. From there, we have our own workout days, and we basically start buds, if you want to call it that way. And we start to cut those that, whether they're grades, whether they're physically can't perform through this, because it is pretty intense. Oh, it is intense. It's not pretty. It's intense. Anyone that has gone to the beach and been wet and rolled in the sand and had 3 pounds of sand in their shorts will understand that these young people that are in competition are going for 5 hours completely sandy and wet. And if they even look like they're drying up, they're sent back to the water and to roll around, which the Admiral called sugar cookies. And that's, if you're not covered enough sand, and I'll have to send you a picture of this, they'll send the entire competition back until they all come back full of sand.
Wow. All right. So you've sold the program, right? Everybody has heard what you do and what you want. How do you get involved? And I also know you need coaches. How do they get involved, and what's required? So start with the first one. How do students get involved? How do they sign up?
They would write. They would send me a email to Junior Navy SEALs
Screen.
You
on the screen.
Junior Navy SEALs at gmail.com. And this is a marvelous thing here. That's how they would start. And we haven't determined when we're going to, but we would probably start to take a list of individuals. And as I said, we're definitely moving into this year, 22, 23, but probably the fall as we go through. And we start to build this group prior to the SEALs coming.
Okay. All right. But the big but the big thing you need more than anything is coaches. And what is a coach? What do they need? What's their requirements? That kind of stuff.
They've got to be inspirational. They've got to lead by example. They need to encourage these individuals to
So
do
no
better.
politicians.
Well, no. No,
I had to do it. It's
okay.
Real Estate Jerky Live. I had to do it. Sorry.
But
People who aren't hypocrites, you
Yeah,
have to.
come
So
in.
basically, you want somebody that's a good individual who walks the walk.
Yes, it's simple. We want to make a better, and we want to provide the opportunity, the paths for these young individuals to choose. We're not going to push them through the doorway. If they don't want it, they don't make the team.
Right.
It's real simple.
All right. So back to the coaches. What are you looking for?
And
how do they get in contact with you the same way? Junior Navy SEALs?
Yes. Junior Navy SEALs, the same way.
I want to be a coach. What is a normal coach? Is there like a typical coach?
I don't have a normal. I've had doctors. Okay. I've had CEOs. I've had one of the hospital. I've had two from industry. They've come. They've decided, hey, we want to do this. I've had women coaches as well as men.
Okay. So, and the reason I'm not trying to push you, but we're at 25 minutes, and I like to try to keep them around 30.
Okay.
All right. And so. All right. So if you want to be a coach, you email you there. Any of your past coaches, I would say, how many percentage of them are veterans?
We've had four of them have been veterans, officers.
Out of all of
them. Most of the coaches will stay. I've had them run for 8 years, 9 years. It's.
So how many coaches do you need?
I would need a coach for every school, and my hopes and targeting will be at least 10 teams. I need 10 coaches minimum.
Okay.
And the coaches can share. I mean, they go, well, I can't do it every day. I can do this day. Fine. Can we get another coach to co-coach with you? Or 3 coaches? It doesn't matter.
All right. So what's the what does a coach have to not obligation, but what is it? How many days a week are we talking about a coach needs to have time for, and how many hours?
A minimum of 3 days a week plus a Saturday morning. And the Saturday mornings start at 5 a.m. and they'll go for a maximum of 3 hours. And that's the max.
All right. And during the week, it's how many hours?
2 hours probably.
For each day?
Each day.
All right. So you have to be able to give that amount of time, or have a co-coach. Like you could do 2 coaches.
I could do 3 coaches. It all depends. A lot of our alumni have come back and have asked, which I use, because they've been through the program. They know what is the demand. They know what's required by them. And again, we don't say this is what you better do, or you will not make the team. We'll open the doors. They make the choices.
Gotcha. All right. So, and what the coaches are teaching is the same thing you're teaching, which is the 6 things. And could you say them again for me?
Yes. It is communications, teamwork, situation awareness, goal setting, stress control, and etiquette.
Okay. Now, what else do you need? Because that we took care of coaches and students, right?
I'll tell you what I really need. I need to finish the facility.
And where's the facility? Do you not want to say? Okay, we'll move on. It's in Modesto.
It's in Modesto. And the reason I don't want to say is because
it's a secret location.
In a secret location, we have terrible, terrible, terrible people out there.
That's okay. We'll move on. But basically, it's in Modesto. You need to finish the facility.
Yes.
And if anybody can help you, same email.
Yes, by all means.
And what do you need help with more than anything else?
Electrical is a big thing that we need. We need.
Do you need people to run electrical, or you need people to figure out what the electrical is there and what to do with it?
Install it and just connect it.
Okay.
That's what we need, because it's want to double check everything when we have all the children in there to make sure that everything is safe. I know I need to put a new panel in and put all the GFI.
But you have the panel.
I have the panel, and I'll get the parts. I just need the labor, and I do need some parts. There are people that have been wonderful. I've got a list, the long as my arm, of individuals and companies who have given to us. I need a new roof on it, because we've got everything built out underneath, all the insulation already done. It's just getting it there. Polishing the floor is the next big thing. It's about 6,000 square feet. Classrooms, conference rooms, a galley, and admin building. We want these young people to be able to improve their speaking ability so they can go out to their peers. They can go out for jobs. They can reach the military and talk to them intelligently. So they're looking at their groups. And before I miss this, I want to tell you what the breakdown has become over these 13 years.
Okay.
50 to 53% go on to college. 40 to 44% go on to the military. And 3 to 10% go on to the working class. Now, that being said, there is movement in all three categories. They may do a semester. They may even get a PhD, which we have. They may go into the working world, or they may go into the military. The military, if they want rank advancement, well, they will go ahead and go to college. And those in the working class will go all three ways: to college to improve their working ability, to the military, or they'll maintain themselves in the working world.
Wow.
So I have a 98% success rate. And everybody should just jump all over that and go, what do you mean 98? We don't even get 45%. I have young people coming to me on assisted living. When they leave my program, they have enough self-confidence, self-esteem to be able to make it on their own. That is how I'm measuring this in the community.
Gotcha. All right, buddy, before we go, anything else you want to add? I mean, we've hit a lot of stuff. We've hit about how the program started, where, why you want to do it, what you need help with, how people get involved, how coaches get involved, what you need for your facility. Did we miss anything?
No, it's getting that facility completed so I can have coaches come over and they say, this is a serious, solid program.
All right.
That's where I need a lot of help first. I got to do this interior. The structure has to be done.
We got it. We both get it. All right. So if you guys can help Buddy, reach out to him through juniornavyseals@gmail.com. If you like what he does, go check out the website. Go to juniornavyseals.org. Check it out. Look at it. If you want to get involved, reach out to him again through the email. And if you can help out with getting the facility ready for him so that he can help out, he's just looking for some volunteers to do some things. So reach out to him, say what you can do. Like you said, he'll send a list of things that he needs done. I've been there. It's a nice facility. It's going to be really great when it's done. And again, buddy, thank you so much for being on the show today.
Ed, thank you so much for this great opportunity.
No problem. I really appreciate it. And again, if people get involved, this is a great program. And then last thing I want to say is, because I want to make sure people understand, he said 53% of people go to college. This is not a funnel for the military, because a lot of people are like, I don't want my kid to go to the military. That's not what this is. This is just to teach those 6 things that he talked about. And it's a great program. And I'm glad that we have it in our area. So thanks for bringing it here, buddy.
You're welcome. Thank you so much.
And thanks for being on the show today.